Good morning and welcome to our broadcast. Today we turn our attention to the World Economic Forum in Davos, where Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered a powerful and widely praised speech on January 24, 2026. Carney presented what many are calling the most honest analysis of the current global situation, declaring unequivocally that the old world order is broken and will not return. He urged nations to confront this reality head-on, stating emphatically, "Nostalgia is no strategy." Carney articulated a vision where this profound shift could lead to something greater, better, stronger, and more just. To avoid being squeezed between global superpowers like the United States and China, he insisted that middle powers must forge stronger alliances. His stark warning was clear. If they do not have a seat at the table, they will be on the menu. He underscored that collaborative investments in resilience are far more efficient than individual nations attempting to build isolated fortresses. Canada's strategic reorientation has been in motion for some time. Late in 2025, Canada formally joined the European Union's Security Action for Europe program. This initiative facilitates joint procurement of military equipment for members through advantageous loans. Prime Minister Carney highlighted Canada's aggressive diplomatic efforts, noting that over the past 6 months, his country has successfully concluded 12 additional trade and security agreements across 4 continents. These new partnerships include a significant deal with China. Just last week, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Carney agreed to substantially reduce mutual trade barriers on specific products. Under this agreement, China will decrease tariffs on Canadian rapeseed, while Canada will reciprocate by lowering tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. Jacques Shore, a Canadian expert on government relations and trade, praised this diversification, stating, "We have diversified our trade by opening up to other parts of the world, Europe, the Indo-Pacific. I believe we can rely on these countries to grow." This pivot reflects Canada's declining reliance on its formerly closest ally, the United States. Since Donald Trump's presidency, the US has imposed increasing tariffs on Canadian goods and even threatened annexation, compelling Canada to seek greater independence. US President Trump reacted sharply to Carney's assertive speech in Davos. Speaking the day after Carney, Trump expressed clear irritation, remarking, "Canada, by the way, gets quite a lot of free gifts from us. They should be grateful, but they are not." I heard their Prime Minister yesterday. Canada lives thanks to the USA. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make a statement. Trump further demonstrated his displeasure by withdrawing Canada's invitation to participate in his Peace Council. However, Prime Minister Carney has consistently remained unperturbed by such critiques from the US President. Domestically, he has focused on fortifying Canada's economy through tax reductions and substantial investments in crucial future sectors. While the long-term efficacy of his strategy is still unfolding, current economic indicators are favorable. Since the US implemented new tariffs, Canada, despite its smaller population, has generated more new jobs in absolute terms than its larger neighbor. Moreover, among the G7 nations, Canada recently recorded the second fastest growing gross domestic product, partly due to strong immigration. Carney's address resonated broadly, prompting numerous media outlets to suggest that Europe should emulate Canada's proactive approach. Carney steadfastly avoids appeasement of Trump, instead embracing honesty, self-confidence, and decisive action. In contrast, the European Union often faces criticism for not responding adequately to the seriousness of the current global landscape. For example, the Mercosur free trade agreement with key South American nations has been stalled by European parliamentarians, indicating that trade diversification isn't a universal priority in Europe. Even the CETA free trade agreement between the EU and Canada remains unratified by all European states after many years. Prime Minister Carney's message is unequivocal: unite with strength on economic and defense fronts to collectively stand against great powers. It's a call primarily aimed at Europe, urging a unified and resolute approach in a rapidly evolving world. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. This video was generated using artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates. See you next time.